Good, Trojan family? It's your boy Fight on Kristen. 4th and 9 to victory, man. Fight on forever. Just wanted to touch bases. It's something new that we're trying out here. We call this Get Into the Game. And what we're going to do for our first one, we're going to look at some of Gary Patterson's 4-2-5 defense. This game I happened to come across the other night. It was when TCU took on Texas. Texas was highly ranked and highly rated above them. I believe Texas was about 15th in the nation. Gary Patterson on the back end, and what he did with his safeties and coverages, he confused the Texas quarterback into 3 interceptions. Man, and it's just some great film and footage to break down. So, man, if you guys like this, we'll continue to do this. We'll get better with our graphics. This really just a test and try out to see how it's going to go. But with nothing that said, let's get into the game. First thing you notice is that we have Gary Patterson's 4-2-5 defense, right? You see at the top, he has a boundary field corner, right, up at the 30-yard line. Inside of that, he has a star position with a safety behind him. Then next to the star, you see a linebacker, and then you have your boundary corner on the bottom, and you have your 2 safeties above. Man, what's great about this is that anytime you see Gary Patterson defense and what he do with coverages, it's all about leverage. If you look at the top here with that field corner, they're starting safety. Texas has 2 receivers on each side, right? What Gary Patterson does, he has leverage. He has 3-on-2. You go over to the weak side, and what you're going to see is still you have a safety, a corner, and you have the linebacker that's right there. He's not lined up on the safety, but they still have that triangle, that 3-on-2. And that's what Gary Patterson's defense is and his coverages is about. Also, what it's about is sometimes he'll do split field coverage, right? If we was to draw a line down the middle of the field right here, one side being man, other side being zone. One thing about GP is that the routes that the wide receivers run oftentimes dictate the coverage and what they're going to do. So in here, what we'll see is that field corner at the top, he's going to be manned up. That star, he's going to be manned up. That safety, at the snap of the ball, he's going to run to the middle of the field and cover deep and protect the deep. That linebacker next to the star, he's going to be manned up on the running back coming out the backfield. That other linebacker and that other safety will get to him. That boundary corner at the bottom, he's going to be on man. And what you can see is the coverage dictated based off that number 2 receiver, where we have that linebacker to the weak side and that safety on the weak side. The wide receiver end up running a 10-yard crossing route, right? So what you're going to see is the linebacker is going to bump him and let him go because he's not threatening his area, and he's going to pass him off to the safety. So what this is, and you guys tell me if you think it's different, but to me what this coverage looks like is a man cover 1 robber. And what that is that once you see that safety at the snap of the ball go to the middle of the field, it's kind of like a man under, but where GP do it different is the safety and that linebacker on the weak side are going to become the robber. And depending on what the wide receiver, what the route the wide receiver run is going to dictate who is that robber. And as we see this play, what you're going to see is the linebacker is going to bump that number 2 receiver, right? The number 2 receiver did not run a curl. He didn't run it out. So the linebacker passed him off to the safety, where the safety became that robber. And at that robber position, that safety responsibility is to look for anything that's in cutting with that wide receiver. And this safety did an excellent job. He cut it from the wide receiver and picked it off. Now, if that wide receiver on the weak side, if he ran a comeback route, right, that in that 5 to 7 range, or he ran an out route, linebacker would have went with him, and then that safety would have be played safety. He would have looked for the next threat, right, receiver or anything in cutting and helping over the top in that one-on-one coverage with that weak side corner on the outside. Man, this is great stuff. Tell me what you guys think. Let's check out the video and check out the play. And as you see, Texas is in double twins. Twins on the weak side, twins on the strong side. Quarterback drops back. The linebacker, he dished off that number 2 wide receiver. Safety hops right in front of it. Interception. Great play. thing about GP is, man, in this defense and what we can expect at USC, man, expect to see a lot of that. Expect to see a whole lot of leverage. 3-2 on the sides of where you have double wide receivers. Even in this game, Texas tried to switch it up and go trips. And what he did is he brought over 4. He still had that leverage, right, on that trips, including that linebacker on the inside. Man, but check out this play. It's just a great play. A lot of post-snap. If you don't understand what post-snap is, that means you don't show your coverage till after the ball is snapped. And what they do is it confuses the quarterbacks, right? You come out, you see a too high safety. Most of the time, most quarterbacks are thinking pre-snap that it's going to be a cover 2, right? And at the snap of the ball, everything changes. We see that strong side linebacker, strong side safety, dart to the middle of the field to play that, to cover that and protect that deep. The other is safety and that linebacker on the weak side. They pass it off depending on the route with that robber coverage. Everybody else was manned up. So our corners, our stars, they're going to have to be able to run. They're going to have to be able to man up. They're going to have to be able to tackle. They're also going to have to be able to think on the fly and understand that routes dictate the coverage in GP system. Man, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, this is our first one. We're going to do the test. If it go good, we'll bring you some more of these. We'll break down GP 425 and how he likes to stop the run and what he do there. We'll also break down some of our offensive plays with Lincoln Riley's scheme, especially that trade counter run zone that we like to run, and also even some of our pass concepts. And during the season, we'll take a couple of plays from the game. Make sure you guys tune in with us. Watch us live. We're on live throughout the whole year on every game. So we'll take a couple of plays out of that, break it down, man, and we're going to get into the game. But until later on, all my Trojan family, fight on.